Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. You know how we do it here. We have another wonderful guest this morning who's going to wake up legendary with us. And she's a full-time working mom of 2 toddlers. She's built her audience up to 40,000 followers in 2 months. She's rocking and rolling. Kate, welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So what brought you to Legendary Marketer? What were you looking for?
Okay, so I'll take it back to 2016. I got sober in 2016, and then I spent a long time working on myself and my mental health and all of that. And then when I was ready to, I started working on my physical health, and I looked online and I realized, oh, there are communities online of weight loss people, beauty people, and I realized that people were getting filthy, dirty, rich doing that stuff. And I thought, I want some of that and I'm going to do that. And so in 2017, I tried to make my own YouTube channel and I stuck with it for 3 years, but I did it all by myself. And it didn't really go very far. By the end, I was making a little bit of money in monetization, but and then I had to put it down in 2020 because we moved. We bought a house. I was pregnant with our first baby. I started a new promotional job, and so I just had to put it down because the return on investment wasn't worth it for my time. And a few years later, 2 babies later, I realized I had my evenings back, and I had scoliosis. So I was looking on Instagram and I came across Becca Duncan, and I thought it was one of her side hustles. And I thought, oh, I whimsically followed her, just thinking, I'll try to use this time to maybe make a little extra money. Then she started talking about affiliate marketing. And then I thought, oh yeah, I could pick that back up again. I checked out her link. I already knew what affiliate marketing was. And, I thought $7, what do I have to lose? $7. So I dove in and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I've just been at it ferociously ever since.
Wow.
Backstory.
Awesome. And Becca Duncan, by the way, just crossed $1 million in commissions as an affiliate here at Legendary Marketer. So let's give her some sitting ovation.
Yeah.
Virtual ovation. She's a rock star. And now you're here, and you ultimately also have a dream you wrote on your questionnaire of opening a drug rehab one day and quitting your full-time job. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, obviously, I need to probably cross the $1 million threshold a few times over to be able to do that. So that would be, I'm 40 now, and where I am now working, if I stay till I'm 50, I have golden handcuffs. I have an amazing pension plan and benefits. So if I stay till I'm 50 and retire at that time, then my goal is within that 10-year span, I will have made enough and perhaps changed my direction in my journey and be able to do something really huge like that. It doesn't have to be when I'm 50, I could be 70 and that could happen. It would just be something really meaningful to me to kind of put a bow on my life and my legacy, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you have a story like mine, of course, and that's really cool. And I like to be able to share, basically turn my mess into a message, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what we had the opportunity to do. Now, doesn't have to turn into that. I mean, we can enter into niches and it doesn't have to do anything with our personal story. We don't have to share that. A good product and a good campaign needs a good story. It doesn't have to be your life story. Let's all keep that in mind. But in your case, you are choosing to kind of use your face as your personal brand and your story as your brand story. And so what have you realized about the difference, here and other things where you're doing affiliate marketing? You may be promoting other products, but you're still building your business, whatever that brand, whether it's your face and name, say you're working in the make money online niche and it's make money with Kate, right? Well, that's the brand. That's the brand. That's the brand that people come to trust first and foremost. It's not whatever product or whatever course or whatever software or whatever you choose to promote after they opt in, and then you introduce them to something else. Initially, they're trusting you, and you are who they are going to always refer back to as the original person that introduced the original guide, if you will. And so, how did that light bulb go off for you as you were going through the challenge?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Just making sure that I have a trustworthy presence online, that people can trust what I say. I see some ways to make money online videos that people do in order to build their audience that aren't exactly fully correct. And I don't recreate those ideas in my content or take draw any inspiration from those, because I actually, I go in and I research, is this actually a legitimate way or an option for people in order to grow my audience? And I don't want people to see it and then try to do it themselves and then, unfollow me or not be interested in what I have to say, is what I think is one of the best ways to make money online, which is the affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
Um, so definitely being trustworthy and never giving any information that I haven't checked out myself.
Mm, that's a good point, because there's a tendency to kind of, when you're standing on the sidelines or kind of lurking around, which many of you are doing. We know that. That's okay. We're here as long as you want to lurk around and, kind of try to figure out how to do this without really actually learning how to do this. Taking the time, spending the money, investing in yourself, whether it's here or somewhere else, whatever, and just learn the skills. But yeah, a lot of people come right in, try to just, well, that's what this person's doing or that person's doing. And then they start to create, videos that appear to be valuable, but they're actually not. They actually get people pissed off. And what you're referring to are the side hustle videos, right? Where people are making these videos on TikTok and Instagram and so forth about side hustles. While they are valuable and can be valuable, what you're saying is that if the person goes there and basically has no shot of getting any results, and it's basically just a waste of time for them, then
Mhm,
ultimately they're not, when they see your next video, they're going to just either scroll on by or unfollow, right?
mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did you do those kind of videos at first and then evolve them, or how did you learn that lesson? What type of content do you create, and have you found to be the most impactful and create the most results for you as a marketer?
So I did start off doing side hustle videos, and I do still do them. But up front, I researched them myself before I created my video, because I wanted to make the video my own and put my own important information into the video. And I would start to research it and I'd say, oh, wait, this one doesn't work at all. So I'm not going to make that video.
Mm,
And then the one that I had a video that went viral that really is why my content, my follower count got so large so quickly. And it was on how to make journals on and sell them on Amazon KDP,
mhm.
and which is a fully legitimate way to make money
Yeah.
online.
Okay.
You do have to have the marketing piece if you're gonna do it, because you can make one and put it on there and it'll just sit there and never get any sales. You have to figure out how to put it in front of people, which is part of the whole angle of posting a video like that, is let me figure out how to help you figure out how to put this in front of people. So I did it wasn't a hard lesson I learned. I didn't, end up losing a bunch of followers because I posted a bogus side hustle. I upfront was researching them and looking into them and making sure that they would actually work.
Yeah. And that's a golly, you're speaking on, if I had a hat, I'd throw it right
I wanted a hat throw. So when you didn't have a
now. Jeez, I mean, my God. Um, no, I brushed my hair this morning. I mean, come on. I'm a Yeah, I'm gonna go somewhere after this, so I'm just kind of, prepared. Um, My father's doing a little bit better and getting moved to a different place, so I'm going to go down there and meet all those people. I'm going
Good.
to go in with some freshly combed hair.
Mhm.
Um, so wow, you're speaking a lot of common sense, and that's why you just got the old hat throw. Well, you deserve it, because sometimes the solutions that we need and the things that are going to work are really kind of just stop asking everybody for a second and trying to copy everybody and quiet the noise and just say, okay, if this is what I want to do, if I want to do side hustle videos, let me just take a second to do it myself. And just, if I can get an idea from somebody else out there on TikTok or out there on Instagram, that's totally fine. We all borrow ideas from each other. I mean, that's the artist way, right? Wow, what was your inspiration? That was my horrific uh, French accent. Yeah, I need to just stick to being American here. Very basic. Um, I can't do too much. Can't handle too much. Um, but you know, if I'm going to recommend a side hustle, or I'm going to recreate a side hustle video that I see, or I'm going to recreate a pet training video that I saw, or I'm going to recreate a recipe video that I saw, or I'm going to recreate a workout video that I saw, then actually add some of your own flavor, twist, value. Hey, here's a heads up, like go through and actually have something else to say. Doesn't have to be valuable, doesn't have to be, because who knows what's going to be, but have something unique, have something that is your own. Kate, is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And, I dove in kind of doing what I saw the big money makers in this niche doing. And, if I could step back, I would think about it even more and say, do I have to do side hustles? Could I do resume writing and then bring in the angle of, hey, if you don't want to have to do this and you don't want to have to apply for jobs and go to job interviews, then there's this other option and take it in that direction. Or, how to get promotions at work. Oh, but hey, if you don't want to have to do this, there's also this other option. You don't have to do side hustles. I just kind of jumped in because the first niche I was in didn't pan out. So I thought, oh, I want to earn and learn. So let me jump in and do this. I love legendary. So I'll just try this one then instead.
You just said something what you just said was something that takes some marketers years to learn and most never do, and they're not successful, which is how to build a successful marketing message within a campaign, how to present and sell. The way that you do that is you educate people on any sort of, it doesn't matter if you ultimately are selling a course about making money online, or starting your own business, or becoming an investor and an entrepreneur, right? I mean, there's real estate courses and programs and colleges. It's all information. You first have to get somebody attracted by teaching them something. And usually what you're saying and what works so well is just giving tips about things that they're already doing, or already trying, not trying to introduce new ideas yet, but just saying, oh, I see you're already doing that. Let me show you a better way, a quicker way. Let me show you a free software. Let me show you how to, let me show you how to use AI to make your resume make you sound 10 times better.
Yeah.
Right. And,
Hmm.
and right. So you deliver that value. And I think that's one of the things that if people can hear and understand what you've brought up right here and what we're talking about now, all of your incomes would soar, all of your campaigns would convert, because you would understand that a very simple marketing principle, which is you can't get people to change their habits right away, right out of the blue. You can't just walk up to somebody off of the streets or off of social media and just say, stop being an employee and come be an entrepreneur. It's
Yep.
better because they're not that's too much, and that's, you have to help them do what they're already doing better. And in the case that you just gave, that's a great example.
Yeah.
Let me show you how to do your resume quicker and make it sound better using artificial intelligence. Get my free 5-page PDF.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and then once you deliver that, you show them that you can help them by first actually helping them.
Yep.
Instead of selling them, instead of trying to introduce your new idea. This is the difference between great marketers and mediocre, legendary marketers and average marketers, is that average people, and you see it every day on the internet, that people are trying to introduce a new idea right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And introduce these huge big ideas like take control of your life. All these big people who are, they're introducing these big breakthroughs and all this stuff to people, and people are not really looking for a breakthrough. They're looking for just a little something that's instantly, they're on the internet in the first place. They're looking for quick hits of dopamine. So you have to give them something that's super relevant to their life already. Like most of you, if you started doing videos, if say you were in the make money online niche, and if you started doing videos about how to make more money in your job, how to get a raise, five questions to ask your boss to get a 20% raise guaranteed over the next year, right? I mean, or that might be a strong claim, but how to make an extra $1,000 on top of your current job without having to go to another job. So you're not introducing the idea of quitting their job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's too big. That's scary. People are not ready to quit their job when they're scrolling the internet. They just want money. They don't want to that doesn't compute that, oh, I'm going to quit my job and start a business and all that. So God, you bring up a great point. What other sort of topics would you think of that would be good video titles to create this kind of content to sort of chum the waters with, right? And get people, swirling around your TikTok profile or swimming around your Instagram profile, getting all your little tips and getting all your little tricks. What are some, because people are always like, what kind of content should I create?
Right.
Say more. What comes
That's
up
a
for
great
you?
question. So those are actually two ideas that had come to mind, both resume writing and perhaps how to get a raise or promotion at work. Those are two things that I could definitely provide a lot of high value around. And that's what's important about the growth phase, is that it's high value. I can't off the top of my head think of another idea for the make money online niche in this moment. But there are plenty. There are plenty. It could be around, wanting to travel more. Oh, but you can't, right? Because you could do travel and yeah, you could do something like some videos around travel. Oh, but you can't. This is too bad because you don't have enough paid time off. And then you go into, well, here's a way you can make maybe $10,000 by this summer to take this dream vacation. That is a way to pull at people's heartstrings for sure, is to talk about, going to a paradise island and you can't, but here's a way
Yeah.
you maybe can.
Yeah. Well, I love all of those. I mean, this is a great tool over here. Give me 10 video ideas about someone, about tips to help someone get a better, oh, what's this? Find a better job. Let's just start there. Look at this. So, like, there's a lot of people out there right now that knows there's a lot of opportunity, right? That like wages and stuff, and people are like constantly always putting their resume on sites, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Did you see how that just happened right there? Did
Yeah, I
everybody
love
see that?
ChatGPT.
Okay, so I just use ChatGPT, which is one of the tools that we kind of have began teaching and talking about, and we have to be careful not to only rely on it to do the thinking for us. But if I need some quick ideas, like you were just like, well, and I know I put you on the spot, so you know what I mean. You're on the spot with 500 people, and it's like, okay, let's ask ChatGPT. You know what I mean? So, top 10 resume tips for landing your dream job, how to nail your job interview, 5%. But you could work any of these, simplified, dumb them down. Give me 10 more titles about tips on helping someone approach their boss to get a raise. Right? We were just talking about that.
Hmm.
Right? So it's like, ugh, look, preparing for salary negotiation, key tips for success, the art of timing. And it's
Yep.
like, okay, these sound like big things, but honestly, think back to either research it. Now you've got some actual interesting things that you could go and put, salary negotiation into Instagram. You could search that hashtag. Now you're getting different type of content coming into your feed. So you're also able to get different inspiration and different ideas than just the echo chamber that most people create with just seeing the same stuff over and over again and never getting different looks from other niches and topics,
Yeah, definitely draw inspiration from other creators that are doing well on those topics.
Yeah.
If it has 100,000 likes, recreate that video in your own way. And all of those things that came up on ChatGPT, you could
Mhm.
make 10 different videos about each one.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could make, I mean, each one you could take and I'll show you preparing for salary negotiation, key tips for success. Watch this. I mean,
Yeah.
write 10 video topics for tips on preparing for you know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, it's you could look at this setting clear. There's your, I mean, it actually what this will do if you work it correctly, it will actually I mean, you could break this down and write an entire, not only have hundreds and hundreds of videos that you could do, but based on kind of chunking down and using certain prompts with this artificial intelligence, it will actually tell you how to do it. So you can derive much of your knowledge from, of course, researching whatever your research looks like, but also using artificial intelligence, specifically Chat GPT, which we know has relatively good information. It's not, no, you shouldn't rely on it you should be humble enough that if somebody corrects you to say, ooh, let me look into that.
Yes.
Right? That's what
Absolutely.
that's what we should be humble enough to do. But it's clear I'm paying $20 a month to, openai.org or whatever, which is a company that Elon Musk has, Microsoft has. So this is a coming to market tool that you can use to even, I mean, even if we just wanted to come up with 100 video titles about salary negotiation and have it script each one of those. Watch.
Yeah, it can script them for you too.
It can script them, right? Write me a 30-second video script for this script for a video to give tips on knowing your worth, researching and assessing your market value. Let me setting clear. Well, whatever. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter. Are you ready to take set? Look at this thing. I mean, it even gives you
It gives you the visuals
the visuals,
and
right?
text on
Right.
screen and
Right. And I can say rewrite the script and remove the narrator and visuals. Right. anything I want. Like, this is kind of the interesting thing about content creation is like people really, we really don't apply enough. I might, so you got to play with this. I don't know what the text on screen is. Yeah. Um, it's given me like a real script, like a movie.
Yeah.
Give me the script in without the what the hell are those called? Anyways, I'd have to sit here and play with it for a moment. But the bottom line is this thing is incredible. And
It
you
is.
can have, I mean, you can see all the different, and the cool thing is you can go back to these. Like you can go back to these and pick up the conversation, and it already has the context on that particular topic, and just pick it right back up. And
Yeah,
if
that's the paid version though, right? I don't think you can do that on the free version. I don't have the paid version yet. I
yeah,
should get it.
you should. I mean, not that the free version is not still powerful
The
enough,
free
but I
version's
would
great.
say,
That's what I use. I
look,
haven't found a need to upgrade yet, and I still use it. I get so much out of it.
here's my philosophy on buying things. If something is valuable, like Chat GPT, or even like Legendary, there's people who are like, should I buy our education? It's like, if you aren't you getting value just for free, like coming on the podcast and listening, being a part of the community. It's like at a certain point for me, if I'm getting value from somewhere, I like to support the business.
Yeah.
I like to go. So I mean, for me, Chat GPT provides so much value to me that it's almost like $20 a month, man. That's good karma.
Yeah.
I'm getting hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands, depending on how you use the tool. And so, and that's just my philosophy. And I'm in a different financial situation than most everybody who's probably on this. And I get that. And I respect that. And I'd like everybody to at least take that into consideration in terms of your education. You know, go somewhere where you feel safe and comfortable. And if you're getting value, then invest in yourself and also support the business. That's just my philosophy, and I think it works well. Do you share the same thoughts?
I do. I do. And that's how I felt. I did buy the blueprints, and that's how I felt when I bought the blueprints. It was quite a conversation with my husband, but I figured people go to traditional universities and they take courses and they spend tens of thousands of dollars. My husband has $100,000 in credit card, I mean, not credit card, student debt,
I
and he
know.
doesn't even use the degree. and so I thought, this, I can't stop thinking about this. I'm having dreams about doing this.
Yeah.
So literally dreams, like, and so I had a conversation with him, and I thought, you know what, if it's not what it's cracked up to be, then I'm out $2,500, and I learned, but it was definitely what it was cracked up to be.
Yeah, and that's great. You can learn that lesson. You can chalk it up. You can say, I got scammed or whatever you want to prove to yourself. And golly, you don't think some people do that. I'm sure some people do buy our education, do nothing with it, and go into a victim narrative. That's
Mm-hmm.
okay. I mean, that's okay. We're not here to control how people think, but what an empowering decision it is to invest in yourself. When most of us, when you think about it, when is the last time you actually invested in yourself? Not bought yourself a dopamine supplying, instant gratification, materialistic item. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about invested in yourself to raise your actual value and your actual earning potential. For example, Warren Buffett says increase your income a minimum of 50% by improving your communication skills. I think it's hundreds of percent, but he's a very conservative man and a very, very straightforward guy. That's an example of investing in yourself and raising your value. And if most of us are honest, we haven't done that in a long time.
I
And
hadn't.
for many of us, we got burned in college with the tens of thousands. And honestly, we said, I'm never doing that again. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yeah. And then in college, I wasn't nearly as excited about my classes as I was about the idea of doing this. So that was another reason why I thought, I something is calling me to this. I have to do this. And it has raised my education very quickly in a way where clearly I'm making more money, and that's because I invested in myself. I've had the return on the investment.
And putting skin in the game also is healthy for your accountability. I
Yeah.
mean, who the hell pays attention to something that they don't have any skin in the game, that there's nothing to risk?
Hmm.
It's like, come on, people. Like, if you're sitting around here and you're looking for secrets to be successful, stop looking so hard. They're right in front of your eyes. Put some skin in the game. Make it important to you. Make it something that you now got to follow through with because you made a commitment to somebody. Have a conversation with your spouse. That's your best friend. Take a chance to let them trust you and to trust them, and go to them and say, hey, look, I want to invest in myself.
Yep.
Maybe it's at Legendary, maybe it's somewhere else, but I want to raise my earning potential, not because I want to go out and travel the world away from you, but because I want to be around you more.
Yeah. Yeah. That is what I want.
Yeah. So, well, it's been wonderful to catch up with you, Kate. And what would you leave our people who are, or to get to know you? I'll be catching up with you in the future, when we have you back on the show. But what would you like people who are new and nervous to know?
Oh gosh. Just start. There are so many people who are, I don't know when to start or how to just start making videos. If you don't have the funnel built, just start making videos and work on making videos and learn how to make videos while you're trying to figure out the whole puzzle of putting the funnel together. And don't stop working on that, because the goal is to eventually post that link, but just start. There so many people get hung up on things, but that you'll learn as you go. Just
Yeah.
start. Just start doing it.
Yeah, and if you have to start over every day, that's okay too. I mean, there's also nothing wrong with um starting your business over at any time. I say get started or start over, because half the people are, starting over. If you
Mhm.
listen to half people's stories, it's this. And I can't say that I really am like this, because honestly, when I found this, it was like the gates of heaven opened up, and I was like, this can't be real. Like, I'm going to look into this. And I also became obsessed with it, because I was like, dude, people are making, you
Yeah.
know, even 5,000, 10,000 a month from home. I was rich. Now 10,000, if I'm not making 10,000 a day, I'm wondering if everything's okay. But that was a humble brag. What can you say? I don't
Good
brag.
for you. You
I
deserve it.
don't brag much. 10,000 a day. I mean, come on. Uh, things begin to compound and multiply when you've invested in yourself for long enough, right? You have to invest in yourself. You are sort of like the body is the temple. Well, that's okay, and it is, and we should all try to be as healthy as possible. Drink lots of water. I've got 3 of them. I probably drank a gallon of water already this morning. So I keep my young skin, but the gray hair, it's crazy. Um, but we all need to be young. We all want to stay young. We all need to invest. It's sort of like, taking care of our body as best we can, but it's also investing in this is half. I mean, folks, this is what's important. Somebody can have their mind, but their body not work. And they're like, okay, I can live like this. But if you have your body and you're laying there and your mind's not work, most of us would say, pull the plug.
Yeah.
So what's more important? We do all this physical, we do all this materialistic, we do all this shuffling, we do all this, running and hiding and all this, when really it's just, some very simple investments in our ability, our skill sets. The reason why we can't get better jobs is because we won't sit to get trained on the skill sets, to be trained. Once you're trained, but we all got burned by school, so we don't want to go back. That sucks. And we're skeptical about doing something online. I get it. But if you want something, you got to take a risk and put a
Mhm.
little skin in the game. It's not
Mhm.
if you want something to happen for free, right, Kate, it's not going to happen. You have to put something on the line. Don't you believe that's how life works?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And so many people, in my accounts, when they message me, they're like, "Oh, but you have to pay. You have to pay." And I'm like, "Well, what do you want? Do you want the world for free?" Yeah, I mean, this is education. And again, I'm going to take it back to college. College isn't free. You pay to get a certificate to become a plumber or however that works. But you pay, right? You pay to learn the skills of a trade, and you paid, it's education.
Yeah.
So, and
You
you
have to
should,
get licensed and you have to take tests and you have to, I mean, I know I was in construction with my
right.
father. I didn't get licensed because I was too young and it was a lot of stuff I had to go through, books I had to buy, thousands of dollars just for the books to study, to then pay thousands of dollars to take the test. And I hadn't bought the first tool yet. That's not even having a truck yet. So people have no idea when they go from employee what it's like even remotely, and we're trying to spoon feed it to you folks. We're not here to, beat you over the head because look, money is tight, eggs have been expensive, gas is we get it. I get it. I got a lot of friends who are not rich online multimillionaires. A lot of regular people in my life. A lot, you know what I mean? Like I'm a
Yeah.
regular person too. I try to live like that anyways, just am not worried about money.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna, the bottom line is if you're gonna change, it's not about just going to the gym every day. You need to invest in your ability to know what the hell you're doing. You cannot just show up blindly to situations and just throw spaghetti at the wall and live like that. You have to be more calculated.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know what calculated means? It means just taking a little bit of time to invest in yourself, to turn off Netflix or whatever else. I sound like an old grandpa. I'm like lecturing to people. That's not my point here. But it is, I'm trying to be direct because there's too much fluff and there's too much kind of mixed messaging out there because that's the content that gets people hooked fast is the easy money's big, and people come into legendary with unrealistic expectations about how fast everything's supposed to happen. And I'm here to tell you it's going to be harder, it's going to be longer, but it'll be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You agree?
I agree. It's worth it. It's hard. It's hard. There are ups and downs. I listen to your Million Dollar Mindset audio regularly, and there are ups and downs, and it can be hard and frustrating. I have trouble with patience, but the one thing I know is that I am not going to quit. And that's why it's going to work for me. It'll work. Well, it is starting to work for me already. So, I'm definitely not going to quit. But back to, investing in yourself and your education. If you think about other things, you just mentioned, all those books and things you have to buy to get into construction in specialties in construction. That's more expensive. This is actually cheap. This is actually cheap education compared to what you have to pay for most traditional paths.
Yeah.
This is actually really cheap. And that Chat GPT, $20 a month, that was just
And it's
hours and
smarter than any
hours of
virtual
work.
assistant or person that you're going to hire or any person on Fiverr if you know how to use it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was hours of work. That was about 10 cents to the hour
Yeah. Yeah.
on what we got out of that just now.
No, you're saying a lot of things that make a lot of sense. And I mean, there's the other difference between like going and having to start a real business, whether it be you're not even starting a business when you become a plumber. You're just getting licensed. I mean, that doesn't, most people go and work for somebody else. They got to go through all that just to go and have a job. Right. But if you want to start a business, you absolutely have to have a plumbing license to have that plumbing business. And then you've not even bought your first tool. You've not even bought a truck yet. You've not even bought insurance yet. You've not even hired the first person yet. And you're going to have to pay them every week right out the bat. Some guys might want to get paid every day or every 2 weeks. And so you're going to have to probably have some money in savings to even start the business, because you're going to have to start selling jobs. How do you juggle starting that? I mean, you're not going to hire people until you got the jobs and the chicken and the egg, and right. It's like,
Right.
it's a bit, that's why people have investors. People come in, they put down $100,000 in the bank account, go and buy $100,000 worth of tools, $100,000 worth of trucks, and you got a plumbing company. Now you're going to be taken seriously. But that's just, you haven't even got your first client.
Yep.
And people come in here and we've got basically 3 things you got to learn: a funnel builder, an autoresponder, and a domain name. 3
Yeah.
tools, 3 low to no cost tools you got to learn.
Yeah.
And sure, it's tech stuff. It's overwhelming. The comments are the same all the time. And this, if you're, hopefully this, hearing this normalizes it for you if you're brand new, because we all went through it. I'm just telling you that once you get through it on the other side, you're going to look back and go, you're going to be setting up funnels in your sleep, or,
Yeah.
it's nothing. And if we can just help everybody to realize just this morning that it's a molehill, it's not a mountain. It's just a molehill that you're going over right now in order to get this baby off the ground and started. In any niche promoting any product, it's the same process. It's a molehill to really go and just take some time to invest and go through the education and get set up properly.
Yep.
It's not a mountain, but we treat it like a mountain. And then that gets us flustered and frustrated. And then we do shiny object syndrome. Do you struggle at all with shiny object syndrome and the potential to get distracted? Or at this point, are you pretty focused?
I'm uncertain what shiny object syndrome is.
Shiny object syndrome is sort of when you see new opportunity, or you chase down rabbit holes, seeing other people's videos. And then before you know, you're signed up to a bunch of people's email list. And before you know it, you're buying this course and signing up to that thing and starting this new thing. And it's just the way that a lot of us get ourselves overwhelmed, because we get so inundated over time. And as we're bringing new people into our inbox and new people onto our timelines to see, we're not getting rid of people and filtering old people out. So it becomes a big, overwhelming noise jukebox kind of thing. And it's very easy to, or just, you can simply go on Facebook and have a tendency to click an ad, and before you know it, you're sitting in on a new webinar from a new guru about to buy another course. And that's what I'm talking about. Was that enough context?
Yes. So back when I did YouTube a few years ago, several years ago, actually now, I didn't even know that there were people online trying to teach this stuff. So I had no idea. I was just winging it. And then when, I described how I discovered Becca and I saw the course, I did shop around. And that was when I realized, oh, maybe I should invest in some education. This was actually the first kind of course that I saw that was out there. And I shopped around trying to find the best strategy. And I did go to a bunch of different gurus, and I found that everything was
down the guru gauntlet.
Yeah. And everything was so conflicting, and build a website, don't build a website, and I was like, And so it actually became, because I was going after it so obsessively, it became clear quite quickly that I needed to stick with one person and pick one. And that's what I tell my followers too. Like, if you don't pick this one, pick one. Don't do the YouTube search, Google search game and get all this conflicting information. Pick one. And I tell people I picked this one because I didn't have to build a website. It's the most straightforward, most simple structure that I have found. And what I'm actually finding now is it's opening up doors for me that I didn't expect. So that's also really exciting. But yes, I did shop around and I did get confused. But like I said, it happened quickly where I realized I needed to pick one because I was obsessed with figuring one out.
I would say to everybody that there's a, depending on what your niche is, I always think that it's a good idea to have like a couple of people in your niche, and then a couple of people in different niches that you're kind of regularly kind of looking at them outside of your own niche. Because if you're only getting marketing inspiration ideas from other people in your own niche, then you begin to sound like everybody else, and that's
Yeah.
how a lot of what I call parrot syndrome starts. It's like, and this is how honestly a marketplace gets kind of like people start to get the like, oh, is this real? Is this a scam? Is because everybody's doing the parrot syndrome thing, right? Um, and so, you know, it's good to have content creators and marketers that you're looking at from other niches. So I always like to, like, for example, some of the best marketers are in like the relationship and the dating niche and stuff like that. The pickup niche, like there were some guys back in 12 years ago that were great copywriters and marketers, and I drew inspiration from for the affiliate marketing and make money online niche. But besides that, every other guru out there, you should unsubscribe from their list. Honestly, even the gurus, even some of these software companies, even some of the software companies that some of us use a lot. These guys are always hawking stuff. It's a new thing. It's a new product. It's a new course. It's a new coaching program every single freaking month or week. And honestly, you will absolutely get into like just overwhelming debt. You'll have a bunch of shit you never went through. And absolutely, how does that not feel like, oh, I'm getting taken advantage of? Well, no, you're just taking on everybody's messaging. I would clear your damn inbox out, unsubscribe from every single person. When you go on Facebook and social media, start unfollowing people when
Yeah.
you go on instead of following people. Stop when you're scrolling through your timeline and you see somebody make a dumbass post that you don't even want to listen, unfollow their ass.
Yeah.
Clear your space out. Your virtual space is just as important as your physical space. There's a
Absolutely.
couple of people who are doing it right out there, creating good content. One of them's, honestly, you got to give the cat his dues, and he's not selling anything. He's just investing in companies, is Alex Hormozy. He's a good guy he's got a wife. They sold a big information business just like Legendary, except they were doing it in the gym niche. He sold the company for a 50 or $100 million. He made tons of money before that, and now he's creating just awesome content. He's not like really running a company, but he's investing in different companies. He's not like me, where I'm still a daily operator and the active CEO in this company. And we've got 130-ish people in this company, so I need to continue to be here. Alex is no longer involved in daily operations. So he is now kind of creating content, and that's how he's attracting businesses that are doing about $1 million or so he can invest, get equity, and then help the company scale and not have to start it from scratch, but really just invest and put kind of like gasoline on the fire, right? Sort of like sharks do in Shark Tank. That's the idea. But his content's really good. And he's a good person, for example, to follow if you're looking for somebody to listen to and to get tips from on social media, but doesn't have a new course every week. For me, Wake Up Legendary. I mean, there's 700 episodes, and I'm not selling a damn thing different in this 700 and something episode than I was in the first episode, which is we've got an appetizer and a main dish
Yeah.
challenge and the blueprints, and it's, you buy it, don't buy it, I don't care. Come here and listen every day. You'll get value regardless. You probably won't do anything though, because you're just hearing stories and hearing us rant and rave. Not like teaching hardcore on Wake Up Legendary. But anyways, I'm ranting a little bit this morning. But what comes up for you as I talk about clearing your space and your virtual space being as important as your physical space? And then we'll bring this in for a landing here in a moment.
Yeah, sure. So, I was actually thinking about this a couple of days ago, how when I scroll my Instagram these days, versus it's an entirely new account than my personal one. I don't even go on my personal one anymore. When I scroll it, I love sharing inspirational clips to my stories on personal growth, and my feed now is all just inspirational speeches on personal growth, and it's amazing, and that is so different than what my feed was before, which was unrealistic pictures of people who looked like they had the perfect life,
Oh my God, totally.
and it's
That's social
amazing.
media using you, right?
Yes.
You're using social media, and
Yeah.
the amount of money you can make. This is ultimately what we do here in a way, is we teach people how to make money from social media.
Mhm.
And so there's another video idea, right? Go play with that deep down the rabbit hole on Chat GPT, is, how to make money with social media and ideas because then you can try them, you can legitimize them, you can do little videos where what are the ways? Hey, I'm going to explore over the next 90 days all the ways that you can make money with social media. Come on my journey with me.
That's a great idea. I'm gonna do that.
It's cool. It's ultimately what we're doing, right?
Right.
We're learning how to use these platforms, but back to our kind of landing point there, which is clear, and treat your digital space, your virtual space, similar to your physical space. Honor it. Make sure that it's feeding you. Make sure that it's inspiring you. Make sure that it's not overwhelming you. You take control of that. If it's all the same stuff, then you're in a echo chamber. You need to start following different people, searching different terms, right? Unfollowing people. Like, don't be afraid to unfollow people. Like, if you miss them in a month, go back and follow them again. But when I go into a store with my daughter, she's 7, and she picks stuff up, I say, put it back. And if you still want it, when we get up and you remember it, you can come back and get it. And what she's learned is that you have these moments of where you're like, oh, you either want something or you don't want to let go of something. But then if you just put it back, you'll realize that in a couple of moments, you've moved on to something else.
Yeah, you'll never miss it.
All right, Kate. Well, it's been a pleasure, and my best to your whole family, okay? Stay
Thank
legendary.
you so much. Thank you.
Keep up the good work and come back and see me again, okay?
I definitely will.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. All right, my friends, go follow Kate at Make Money WK for with Make Money WK. We'll have Kate back on and we'll have her do more of the talking. I was in a little bit of a ranty mood this morning. She was just a wonderful sport, though, and a lot of nuggets. She brought out and brought up some topics that this is worth a re-listen, my friends. And she's worth a follow, because she gets a lot of the messaging pieces and how to chum the waters in a way that gets people listening to your content without trying to introduce too many new big ideas right away. Yes, Alex Ramosi is all over, folks, and he's a great guy to listen to. Go unsubscribe from everybody else and just find a couple of people who are not selling something new every week, that you can know that their information doesn't have, like, understand what people's motives are, and then decide whether you want to continue to listen to them or not. I mean, for me, though, even on social media, back in 2021, I began doing this because all the political crap, whenever I would go on social media, I just started, if I saw a post of somebody who I was like, that is a toxic post, that's not even remotely that's not what I want to see, I would just unfollow them. Like on Facebook, you don't even have to unfriend them. You just unfollow them, right? Or you could go through and unfriend them. But my point is that be proactive and own your domain, own your space. Because if you do that, then you're also training people and platforms how to treat you, right? And your time and your space and what goes into your eyes and your ears is valuable. Remember that. Act like it. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Thanks again, guys. Bye.